We're off on another winter ride. Beautiful day. It's only about 36 out, but heck, I'll take it. Well, we're going to take a ride up to see if the elk are out today. We'll go by the little elk farm that's up on the Wheeling Eaton Pike. See if they're out on this nice and sunny day. Every time I've had the camera on in the past and ridden by, they haven't been out. And I went by about a week ago and rode by without the camera, and sure enough, there were the elk. We did get a little bit of snow, but I don't think anything as far as the roads was affected. I'm sure it wasn't anywhere near where anybody had to put any salt or sand out on the road. But this time of year, you still got to keep awful sharp eyes out for sand and gravel conditions. Boy, they're in the cloud in the sky. Nice, pretty blue sky today. Got my heated grips on set at 1. I may not even need those, but we'll see. Well, the UPS man came today, brought me a set of handlebars. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I think that's going to be just a fine day to start tearing things apart and putting on the new handlebars. Got a set of Wild One chubby ape hangers, 10-inch. I didn't want anything high enough to get up above the fairing, because I still wanted wind protection on my hands, especially on cold days like today. And the reason I went with those is because I just like the smooth bend rather than one like the monkey bars, which has like a welded sharp corner on it. It's just a matter of preference. And I got the 1.25" chrome finish. So the one kind of nice thing is the Wild One's site on the internet, the website, has lots. Oh, here's some sand, gravel. The The Wild Ones website has lots of examples of the different handlebars, the different sizes, and the way they look. Which is pretty neat. I found an awfully good YouTube video on how to replace the handlebars. They did it on a Street Glide, but it's essentially the same thing as the Limited that I have. And I'm after more for comfort level than I am for looks, so I didn't want to go with the Z-bars, but the monkey Z-bars or whatever they call them. But these stock bars are just a little too low and a little too far forward that I hunch over, and on long rides I feel it in my shoulders after about 2, 3, 4 hours. Yeah, the ape hangers I had on the Dyna that I had just before this, they come stock with the Street Bob, and those were just perfect. They were mini apes. So we'll see how these do. But I want to get them on because I got a long trip coming up on April 9th to Tennessee for a week of riding, and I'd like to get them on. So I got about 3 weeks before that event. It'll be kind of interesting though, because what I wanted, they don't look really super much taller than these. They are taller. I won't know until I get them mounted and then check them out. But I wanted to put in the poly bushings for the handlebar clamp itself. Just because everything I've read is that the rubber ones will tend to wear out quicker than poly, and then when they do, the handlebars get awful sloppy, and it's a lot more noticeable the taller the bars are. But the critical thing on those is they can't add a whole lot to height, or you won't get the fairing back on over top of the bars with enough clearance to get the bolts back in on the forks. So I have to take a real close look at that when I'm got things torn down. And before I wire up all the handlebar and everything, I may just pop in the bushings and put the bar in, try to put the fairing up on top of it just to see, make sure everything will go back together before I wire everything. Yeah, the YouTube video is by a guy called Ride It and Wrench It. I think if you look it up on YouTube and do a search on that name, you'll probably pop it up. But he does a lot of little neat maintenance videos. And one of them was, he changed his handlebars. I think it was on his 15 Street Glide. And it's pretty detailed. He really gets into it, now how to take the wire connectors off, how to disassemble them and get them back together again. Well, I'll tell you, it's temperature-wise, it's not too bad out today. Now, some of it might just because the sun's shining, and psychologically you don't feel too cold, but it's not too bad out. Partially because it's not too windy. Now here's the Mississinawa bridge going over it. Shouldn't be too much water in it, I wouldn't think. We haven't had a whole lot of precipitation, but actually it does look kind of high. Relatively, I still see rocks pointing up in the... Well, here's the moment of truth. We'll see if there's any elk out today. Because I got the camera on, I'm sure there won't be. Yeah, good, nobody's following me, so if there are, I can take my time and putts. Well, oh, there's one in there, but he's back huddled by the barn. He's in that little pen. I don't know if I had the camera on it long enough to see him. I'm not sure what he does, whether he raises them for sale for elk meat or whether he just likes to raise elk. That was a brown one, and I know I've seen in the past one that's almost all kind of white, and that's kind of neat looking.